Everyone thinks Melkor feared the Silmarils because they were powerful. 3 perfect jewels, the last light of the 2 trees, the treasure Feanor loved more than almost anything in Arda. But that's not what really happened. Melkor did not fear the Silmarils because they were weapons. He feared them because they revealed the one truth he could never escape. He could steal light. He could wear light. He could imprison light in an iron crown. But he could never create it. That is the secret terror of the Silmarils. They were not merely jewels. They were judgment. The question nobody asks is this: why did the Silmarils burn him? Not why did he steal them? Not why did Feanor rage over them? Not why did Beleriand bleed because of them? The deeper question is far darker. What kind of evil becomes so broken that beauty itself turns into pain because Morgoth got exactly what he wanted? He stole the greatest jewels ever made. He became the possessor of the last light of the trees. And still, the Silmarils wounded him. They scarred his hands. They burned his brow. He won the treasure, but the treasure refused to become his. To understand why, you have to go back before the theft, before Angband, before the Oath of Feanor, before the long wars of the First Age. You have to go back to Valinor, when the world still had a light that did not come from sun or moon. The 2 trees, Telperion and Lúthien, silver and gold. Their light was not ordinary brightness. It was a living, sacred radiance, a beauty woven into the blessed realm itself. When the trees shone, Valinor did not simply become visible. It became revealed. Their light touched stone, water, air, and memory like music made visible. And Feanor, greatest of the Noldor, captured that light in the Silmarils. The Silmarils were not only crafted jewels. They were vessels of a lost perfection. After the trees were destroyed, no one could remake what they contained. Not Feanor, not the elves, not even the Valar. The light inside them became the last untouched memory of what the world had lost. Think of them like 3 drops of dawn preserved before night conquered the sky. Beauty before ruin, light before exile, memory before grief. And this is where things get darker, because Melkor had always wanted to be the source. He wanted the imperishable flame. He wanted to create from himself. He wanted reality to begin in his own will. But every great beauty in Arda reminded him that he was not the origin. The stars did not come from him. The trees did not come from him. The children of Ilúvatar did not come from him. Even his own power was given, not self-born. And for Melkor, that was unbearable. Most people never realize that Morgoth's hatred of beauty was not simple ugliness resenting loveliness. It was humiliation. Beauty proved there was a good beyond him, a light he could not command into existence, a joy he could not originate, a holiness that did not need his permission to shine. That is why the Silmarils mattered. They were the purest rebuke to Morgoth's lie. He wanted to believe that possession could replace creation, that taking could make something belong to him, that power could make stolen beauty his own. But the Silmarils said no, silently, burningly, forever. This is the key mechanism most people miss. In Tolkien's world, beauty is not neutral. Light is not decoration. Holiness is not passive. Some things are so deeply aligned with the order of creation that corruption cannot touch them comfortably. The Silmarils were hallowed. Varda herself blessed them. No evil hand, no unclean will, no corrupted flesh could touch them without being burned. That sounds like a magical rule, but it is really a moral law made physical. The Silmarils do not burn because they are cruel. They burn because Morgoth has become incompatible with their goodness. Imagine a diseased eye trying to stare into the sun. The sun is not evil. The eye has become unable to receive light. That is Morgoth with the Silmarils. The pain is proof of what he has become. And this is genuinely tragic, because Melkor was not born unable to bear beauty. He was the mightiest of the Feanor. He heard the music before the world existed. He saw the first vision of Arda. He had imagination, majesty, and power beyond nearly every other created being. Once, he might have rejoiced in light. Once, he might have helped shape beauty. Once, he might have added something no other voice could give. But by the time he steals the Silmarils, the greatest light in the world has become torture to him. That is a fall deeper than defeat. It is becoming the kind of being for whom goodness itself is unbearable. And yet, he steals them anyway. Why? Because Morgoth does not desire beauty the way a lover desires beauty. He desires it the way a tyrant desires a conquered city. To say, mine. To prove that what he cannot create, he can still take. To make the world look upward and see stolen light in his crown. This is one of Tolkien's darkest images. Morgoth sitting in Angband with the Silmarils set into his iron crown. The last sacred light of the trees imprisoned in the symbol of his dominion. The beauty he helped orphan, forced to shine from the head of its destroyer. It is grotesque. Not because the Silmarils lose beauty, they do not, but because their beauty is trapped inside hatred, like a star locked inside a dungeon. And Tolkien makes that contradiction physical. The Silmarils burn Morgoth's brow. His hands are blackened. The pain never leaves him. He wins the theft, but the theft becomes punishment. He takes the Silmarils into Angband, but he cannot take them into himself. He can lock them in his crown, but he cannot make their meaning obey him. He can claim them as treasure, but they remain witnesses against him. That is the difference between ownership and communion. Ownership says, I control this, therefore it is mine. Communion says, I receive this rightly, therefore it becomes part of my joy. Morgoth can own the Silmarils only in the lowest sense. He can hold them, guard them, bleed for them, but he can never commune with them. He can never delight in them. He can never be enlarged by them. He can only clutch them while they burn, and that is why he fears them. Not only because they hurt him physically, but because they expose the emptiness of possession without love. They prove he can conquer beauty and still remain outside its goodness. He can have the jewels, but he cannot have what makes them glorious. This is where the consequences become darker. Once Morgoth steals the Silmarils, Middle-earth begins to orbit his theft. Feanor swears the Terral Oath. The Noldor rebel. Kin slay kin. The doom of Mandos falls. The elves return to Middle-earth not in peace, but in fire, pride, vengeance, and grief. The jewels become the center of wars, betrayals, sacrifices, and ruin. But notice the irony. Morgoth steals the Silmarils because he wants possession. Then the desire to possess them spreads like infection. The Silmarils themselves are not evil. They are not like the ring. The ring actively seduces. The ring was made for domination. The Silmarils are different. They do not corrupt by evil power. They reveal corruption already present. To the pure, they are wonder. To the grieving, they are memory. To the proud, they become obsession. To Morgoth, they are pain. That is what makes them frightening. They're like a perfect mirror made of light. No one approaches them without being revealed. Feanor is revealed by them. His genius, his love, his pride, his possessiveness. The sons of Feanor are revealed by them. Their loyalty, their doom, their inability to turn back. Beren and Lúthien are revealed by them. Courage, love, impossible hope, and grace in the heart of darkness. Morgoth is revealed by them too, and what they reveal in him is emptiness. A will that can take but not create. A hunger that can possess but not receive. A power that can wear beauty only as pain. This is why Beren and Lúthien entering Angband matters so much. At the very heart of Morgoth's fortress, beneath all his terror, the Silmaril becomes the object of impossible hope. Morgoth sits on his throne. Balrogs, orcs, darkness, iron, fear, and domination surround him. Everything in that chamber, says Morgoth, has won. And yet, one Silmaril is cut from his crown, not by an army, not by a Valar, not by someone stronger than him, by a mortal man and an immortal maiden moved by love. That is Tolkien at his deepest. The stolen light does not remain forever in the tyrant's crown. Beauty is not finally at home in possession. It begins its escape through love, courage, song, and sacrifice. And Morgoth's fear is justified. Because the Silmarils are not merely treasures he might lose. They are signs that his victory is not total. As long as that light exists, something remains in Arda that he cannot absorb into himself. Something that wounds him by its purity. Something that carries memory of a world before his shadow. This is the main payoff. The real reason Melkor feared the Silmarils is that they proved possession is not creation. He could steal the light, but he could not make it his. He could crown himself with beauty, but he could not become beautiful. He could hold holiness, but only as torment. He could take the last light of the trees into Angband, but he could not make Angband holy. That is more disturbing than defeat. Defeat says, you lost what you wanted. Morgoth's fate says something colder. You got what you wanted, and it still did not become yours. That is the nightmare of absolute possession. The conquered city does not love you. The stolen jewel does not bless you. The enslaved will does not become true loyalty. The light in your crown does not become your light. It only reveals the darkness beneath it. Morgoth's crown is meant to display dominion, but it actually displays failure. Every Silmaril in that crown says, you did not make this. You cannot master this. You are not the source. You are only the thief. And for Morgoth, that truth is unbearable, because his entire rebellion began with refusing to accept that he was not the source. He searched the void for the imperishable flame. He wanted creation for himself. But the Silmarils expose the lie. They are made, yes. Feanor made them. But what they contain comes from beyond him too. The light of the trees, the blessing of Varda, the original goodness of creation. Even Feanor, in his greatness, did not create their deepest beauty from nothing. He received, he shaped, he preserved. He became a vessel. That is the difference between true creativity and Morgoth's corruption. All true making in Tolkien begins in humility. No maker is the absolute source. All shapes, but does not originate souls. Feanor crafts, but does not create the light. The elves make art from a world they did not invent. Even the Valar shape Arda, according to a music they did not author alone. Creation is participation, receiving and answering, joining a harmony greater than the self. Melkor cannot bear that. He does not want to participate. He wants to replace. And because he cannot replace Ilúvatar, his creativity curdles into violation. That is why the Silmarils are so dangerous to him. They prove the highest beauty comes through reception, not domination. They shine with goodness that cannot be forced. They can be stolen, but not understood. Taken, but not inwardly possessed. Held, but not loved. And if beauty cannot be loved, it becomes judgment. Imagine wearing a crown that calls you a thief every second it touches your skin. Imagine possessing the last pure light in the world and discovering that it only makes your darkness more visible. That is Morgoth's torment. The Silmarils do not let him hide from himself. Their light shines outward, but it also shines inward. It reveals the blackened will beneath the crown. It reveals the failure of his rebellion. It reveals the truth he spent all ages trying to deny. He is not the creator. He is not the owner of being. He is not the master of light. He is the black foe, and the light burns him because he has made himself its enemy. This is why the later fate of the Silmarils feels so mythic and sorrowful. One is carried into the sky with Arundel, becoming a star of hope. One is cast into the sea. One is thrown into the fire of the earth. Air, water, and flame. The jewels are removed from ordinary possession. No king keeps them. No empire holds them. No proud hand finally owns them. The Silmarils cannot remain as trophies. Their story proves that beauty of this kind cannot be safely possessed by pride. It must be received rightly or lost beyond reach. Feanor cannot keep them. Morgoth cannot keep them. The sons of Feanor cannot keep them. And yet, their light is not wasted. One becomes a sign of hope in the heavens. The others remain hidden in the deep places of the world. The light endures, but not as private property. The Silmarils cannot be safe. The way we work together for the body of the Father.
It becomes cosmic memory, a reminder that beauty may be lost to possession, but not destroyed by it. This is the final humiliation of Morgoth. He destroys the trees. He steals the jewels. He plunges the world into war. He scars history beyond healing. And still, the light escapes him. Not completely restored, not without terrible cost, but never mastered. That is why the Silmarils are more than the cause of wars. They prove that evil cannot truly own the good. It can imprison it for a time. It can misuse its image. It can place it in an iron crown and surround it with darkness. But it cannot change what it is. The Silmarils remain Silmarils in Angband. Their light does not become Morgoth's light. Their beauty does not become his glory. Their holiness does not become his authority. They remain themselves, and that is what evil hates most. Something it cannot redefine.
Something it cannot absorb. Something that remains good even in the enemy's crown. At the end, Melkor feared the Silmarils because they were the opposite of everything he had become. They were received light. He was rejected gift. They were preserved beauty. He was ruined greatness. They were holy memory. He was corrupted will. They shone without needing to dominate. He dominated because he could no longer shine. And perhaps that is the saddest truth. Oh, Morgoth did not hate the Silmarils because they were alien to him. He hated them because they reminded him of what he had once been capable of loving. Before the Void, before the Crown, before Angband. There was a time when Melkor heard the music. There was a time when beauty did not yet burn him. And the Silmarils carried the memory of that lost possibility. That is why their light wounded him more deeply than any blade. They did not only burn his flesh, they burned his lie. He wanted to be the source. They revealed him as thief. He wanted to possess beauty. They revealed that beauty cannot be possessed by hatred. He wanted to make the world his. They revealed a world whose deepest light belonged to a goodness beyond him. That is the real reason Melkor feared the Silmarils. Not because they could destroy him, but because they told the truth about him. And truth is the one light Morgoth could never endure. But there is another mystery hidden inside the Silmarils. If their light was so holy that evil hands could not touch them without pain, then why did the Oath of Feanor drive even noble elves into murder, betrayal, and ruin? Were the Silmarils cursed, or did they reveal a darkness already waiting inside the hearts of those who desired them? That is the next story.